Hey everyone, welcome to Continuous Thunder Music Reviews. Today we're going to be going through the second half of the first 20 reviews that I ever did. For those of you who don't know, this whole idea of me reviewing music started as a Facebook page where I wrote the reviews. If you want to read those full reviews, there's going to be a link in the description to the Facebook page, so you can read those there. There's also a part 1 to this video that's going to be linked down where I go through the first 10 of this list of 20. And we're just going to try to get through these real quick. I'm going to show the album, I'm going to give you my score, and I'm just going to give you a quick little blurb as to why I rated it the way I did. So let's get rolling and get through these. First up, we have Feral Roots by Rival Sons. I rank this a 3.5 out of 5. Rival Sons have been around for about 10 years doing blues and classic rock influenced hard rock. Always putting out consistently good albums. This one isn't their best. I feel like some songs are a little overproduced and overworked, but overall it's not bad. If you like Greta Van Fleet, you should give these guys a listen. You're gonna love it. Up next is Oliver Appropriate by Say Anything. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. This is apparently the last album that's going to be released under the Say Anything name, as declared by frontman Max Bemis. He's announced an indefinite hiatus from Say Anything. It's some pretty stripped back, old school emo on here. Kind of reminds me of old Dashboard Confessional. It's 14 quick tracks to give vivid and emotional reactions to events in the life of the title character. Max takes you to some pretty dark places, but I think it's some pretty solid old school emo. After that, we have DNA by Backstreet Boys. I gave this a 3 out of 5. The group, for the first time in their career, tries to modernize their sound a bit with better than expected results. There's still some tracks that feel a little dated and others that are a little cringy, but overall this could have turned out a lot worse than it did. Up next we have Amo by Bring Me the Horizon. I gave this a 3 out of 5. With this album, the band is fully embracing the electronic rock that they've been teasing at for the past couple albums. And you can complain all you want, but there's some pretty solid tracks on there. After that, we have the self-titled release from the OBLIVION Community Center, which I ranked 4 out of 5. This is a collaboration between Connor Oberst of Bright Eyes and Phoebe Bridgers. They have some pretty decent chemistry. Connor sounds like he's having some of the most fun he's had in a long time, and Phoebe is excellent as always. Up next we have FIDLAR, Almost Free, their third album, which I gave a 2.5 out of 5. Production is getting a little cleaner, but it feels like the band just isn't saying no to any ideas that they have in the studio, and the end result's a bit of a mixed bag. There's a few good tracks on here, but there's others that just aren't. After that we have Seasons by American Authors, their third album, which I gave a 2 out of 5. The band is losing pretty much everything that set them apart from all the other alternative acts out there like Imagine Dragons. They're playing the game a little better than some of the others, but there's not much here to keep them from fading into the crowd. Up next we have Cherry GLAZERR, Stuffed and Ready, which I ranked 2.5 out of 5. This is a fun little indie garage rock album, at least for the first few tracks. Songwriter Clementine Creevy takes us to some dark places, but the songwriting is pretty inconsistent, with the back half of the album being either boring or annoying. After that we have Gallipoli by BEIRUT, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing incorrectly, but I gave it a 3 out of 5. This has frontman Zach Condon leaving the more indie pop flavor of his last couple releases and going for a more atmospheric and even experimental take on things. Some tracks are very lyrically sparse. Overall the compositions are beautiful, but some of the more experimental bits kind of tried my patience. And last but not least is the self-titled second album by ASTRONOID. Initially I gave this a 4 out of 5, but I'm going to walk that back to a 3 out of 5. These guys do some pretty unique metal. I'd almost call them a happy thrash. I don't know if it was just discovering something new that made me rate them a little higher, but the more I listen to this, the mix is kind of iffy, especially on the front half, and overall it's not as strong as their first release, so I'm walking it back down to a 3. And that's going to do it for this round of 10 and for all 20 of my first reviews. Like I said before, if you want to read the full reviews, there's going to be a link in the description to the Facebook page for Continuous Thunder where you can read them. I would also like to know your thoughts. Did you listen to any of these albums, and what did you think of them? Did you like them? Did you not? Would you rate them any differently? Also, is there anything else that was released up until this point that I didn't review that you'd like to know my thoughts on? If you leave me a comment, if I listen to it, I might share my thoughts with you. After this, we're going to get into the swing of regular reviews, single album, full form, and hope to see you then, and thanks for watching.